Hey, this is Mr. V, doing a book review for Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. Before I start my book review, you should know that I try to do a spoiler-free book review, or as few spoilers as possible. So that's why if you see me looking down occasionally, I just have notes. So I try not to give any spoilers away. So let's get into the book. So the basic premise for Fahrenheit 451 is it's set in the future, and the main character, Montag, he is a fireman, but in the future, firemen are not putting out fires, but they are starting the fires. And they are burning anything illegal. And the biggest illegal thing in the future is books, both fictional and nonfiction. People are obsessed with TV, and the firemen need to put out any books in the house they came in, as it is illegal to own a book in the future. At one point, though, Montag starts to question, why are we burning these books? And then the plot just goes from there. So, it's a very fun plot. Now, as for the book, Bradbury, what he does is he sets a depressing tone immediately. I mean, you can feel it in the society there. And I think that's a lot of fun because I think he's trying to set a depressing society. And he just sets that immediately. You can tell within the first few pages, based off the way the characters talk to each other, based off the settings, everything like that. You can tell it's a depressing society. And it's a lot of fun because there are questions you have throughout the book. And the main one being, why are they burning the books? As they burn both fictional and nonfiction books. So you're wondering, why are they burning the books? As they are allowing other forms of entertainment to continue, and people are obsessed with TVs, but they are only burning the books. And you wonder, is it to make people stupid? Is it some kind of form of control? Why? And you keep wondering it, especially because they're allowing other forms of entertainment to continue. So that's really fun. And, it's a fun debate that you're having in your mind while you're reading it. As, again, I said, I love the plot line for this. The problem I had was that he just gave a marginal delivery of this book. As it's a great plot line, but it's a marginal delivery because while you have a lot of those questions throughout the book about why are they burning it, I felt that the plot, it just didn't grab you much for it having a great plot point. It didn't grab you much. And that there were times where he took the easy way out. And what I mean by easy way out is that he didn't give much of an explanation. And basically a cheap way out, I'll give you an example. I won't say the character, but at one point a character dies. And instead of going in depth about how they died or why they died, someone just says, oh, this character got run over by a car. And then it just ends it like that. And it's like, that's it. You have the feeling of wanting more. You feel empty when you read it. And that's why I thought for having a great plot point, it was just kind of marginally done. And, there's only a few characters in the book, which is good because they're very easy characters. And that is good. The problem was there was very little character development. There's a decent amount of character development for the main character, Montag, but for the other characters, he didn't do much character development. And what happens then is you don't feel much emotion for the characters because I felt he could have done more character development. And if he had done more character development, then you would feel emotion. But you didn't feel emotion for the characters. And because of that, you didn't really care if good things or bad things happened to those characters. You really cared almost nothing. And again, it leaves you feeling fairly empty. So, I feel that was a big knock against the book because I love books with good character development as you want to feel that emotion for the character. But this one didn't have that. And another part was that because of all the two factors I just said about the plot and the characters, it was a very easy book to put down. You definitely wanted to finish the book, but it was very easy to put down where sometimes you would just read, just about 10 pages, 20 pages, and you were like, okay, I just was fine putting it down. And sometimes you'd put it down for a couple of days. You didn't have any big need to get back to the book. Again, you wanted to finish the book, but you didn't have, there was nothing that just really drew you in. And again, that's another knock against it. And I think it had to do with the lack of character development. Now, I also felt that the ending was just a marginal ending. I judge an ending by a few things. Of course, if you like how it ends, like if you like the end. But I also judge it on like, did he wrap up all the pieces? What happens at the end? Because you don't want to have like empty or plot holes and things like that. And there were things that I felt he didn't really tie up at the end. And I also said before that he kind of took the cheap way out at times. And there were sometimes in the end, like after it ended, it was like, again, you just felt empty. Like there were some plot lines that weren't fully answered. And that's why I felt it was marginal. And it just, it just wasn't for me. I looked up online what other people felt. I read forums. I watched other people's reviews. And some people felt the same as me about the end, where it just leaves you feeling empty, or it's like, okay, you didn't wrap everything up. But then there are other people who love the end. Again, for me, it just didn't, it just wasn't an ending for me. But you may love it. So anyway, let me get into my official book rating for this. So I always rate my books on a scale of 0 to 10. A 0 is an awful book. A 5 is average, and a 10 is phenomenal. If it gets a 10 or anywhere near a 10, you should put that on your reading list, because a 5 is average, and I'm a tough critic. And because again, a 5 is average. So I'm going to rate Fahrenheit 451 a 4, which is a point below average. Remember, I'm a tough critic because a 5 is average, but I'm just going to rate this book a 4. And the reason I'm rating it a 4 is because while I love the plot line of them burning books and you don't know why they're burning the books and people are obsessed with the TVs, I just felt it was a very marginal delivery because I thought he took the cheap way out on different aspects, and then the way he wrote it just didn't fully grab you, and that there was also a lack of character development, which is why I'm giving it a 4. Despite a 5 being average, I'm giving it a below average rating. If you guys have any disagreements or comments, please put it in the comment section below. I hope you guys click the subscribe button, as I do many different book reviews from many different genres. But thank you for watching my book review today. This is Mr. V. Go enjoy reading.